Cracking fam. Lola, babe, when you watch this, yes, I am using the hilarious makeup filter again. She gave me a bunch of shit about it last time. So I think being nice is just like human decency and, politeness, I think, is expected. It's why our parents say, come on, say thank you, say hello when we're little, to develop that habit. And I think that when people just can't be bothered and they're like, who fucking cares? And like, who gives a shit? And I just really think that making that effort is not that difficult. And you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And I think that people who, this is starting to annoy me at this point. I think people that can't be bothered, like, you get what you paid for, if you're not willing to make that little effort to be polite and just do the friggin' dance. Like, I'm an introvert too. I don't like bullshit, whatever, but it's not that hard to be like, how are you? Good. That's good. What have you been up to? Not much, just working. It's not that hard. And it's like from there, the conversation starts going. It's my turn, it's your turn, it's my turn, it's your turn. And then you can flow into a more deep conversation. That's something that I've learned to accept as an introvert. Do the dance, and then you get the connection that you deeply desire. I just really find it sort of, when people are bitter, and I know that depression yearns to be active, to be activated, and sometimes being angry and hostile is the most exercise that some people have done. Hey babe, yes, I'm doing the makeup filter, it's hilarious. And sometimes being argumentative and whatever, that's the most energy that person's going to experience that day, because they don't have exercise, or they just don't appreciate that kind of thing. So that makes them feel better, is being a bit of a jerk. And sometimes I sound like a jerk on these videos and that, but it's kind of a tough love kind of thing. Thanks, babe. Mwah. Love you too. My heart's in the right place. I'm not like, everyone can get fucked, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not running that stuff, all right? Meanwhile, the reason people do run that stuff, what I'm getting at with the cluster B, so like narcissist, borderlines, and histrionic, because they have such extreme reactions, it could be like bipolar and stuff as well, because they have such extreme emotions that are sort of louder than everyone else's, and people kind of go, whoa, when they have a feeling. They've learned to go, oh, no one cares when I'm upset, and it's, the size of their emotion seems relative to them. They're like, no, that's the correct amount of feeling. It's a lot and it's overwhelming, but they don't know any different. They're not like, this is too much, I'm being too loud, or other people's feelings are this big and my feelings this big. Like, there's no barometer for that. So what they've learned is, when I have an emotional response, everyone sort of backs away and goes, good luck, dickhead. Like, good luck with your feelings. Like, that's your problem. I'm not really up for empathizing with that, because it's too loud and it's too full on, right? Whatever emotion it might be. So they scare people off by being highly expressive. And so from that, over time, they learn emotions are my problem. No one really helps me. That must be the deal for everyone else as well. Like, for everyone, it's like, yeah, good luck with your feelings, dickhead. So just by, experiential learning, they're like, okay, no one really gathers around other people's feelings. And that's just their solo experience. I mean, they might see people empathizing with each other in the distance, but probably don't have that awareness to go, that's what's happening over there. They might go, oh, those people are talking, you get them the flashcards, and they're like, oh, that person's sad and that person's comforting them, that maybe not. I'm sure it does trigger jealousy and envy and narcissism anyway, to see people looking after each other, because it would be a trigger. Why are you consulting them instead of consulting me? I'm the greatest person ever, so why would you go to them for advice when you could come to me for advice? So it'd trigger that kind of thing. Anyway, I just want you to keep that in mind, that they're doing their best by assuming that everyone's emotions are their own problem, and that's why they don't care about hurting people. Or they're like, well, I'm just expressing myself, your emotions are your problem, my emotions are my problem, I'm just having my moment, and too bad if you get upset, that's your responsibility. My emotions are my responsibility, yours are your responsibility. And in a way, that is like more interdependent than the people-pleasy, codependent stuff, right? So I'm saying being nice is, being nice and polite is like, it's not too much to ask, it's only a little bit of effort. But to some degree, we've got to not expect more from them, but also to take a tiny leaf out of that book and go like, I'm not totally responsible for everyone else's emotions. Like, yes, a little more than narcissism or borderline, completely disregarding other people and feeling empathy for other people and just being like, no, this is my expressive zone. Too bad. Anyone that gets caught in the firing line, that's not cool. But also being completely codependent and people pleasing and being like, oh, I'm just going to repress everything about myself and put myself in this unsafe situation. For example, enabling being a counterpart to someone with a cluster B personality disorder because you're used to repressing your needs. And I mean, I've got mild OCD and what's the other one? And a bit avoidant. So like I was a magnet to people who were a bit fucked in that way. And it's only from working on myself, working in codependency, having stronger boundaries, being able to check in with my emotions. Like, I don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna leave, stuff like that. And as a teenager, when the shit was hitting the fan, I'd always be walking towards it like, oh, I'm not comfortable, but I need to make this part of my comfort zone. Come on, guys, everyone settle down. And I'd get in the firing line of arguments that were escalating that weren't actually my problem, So that's too far the other way. Anyway, let's not hope that people who are damaged are going to change, because we're probably not qualified to change them. So if you are in a relationship with someone who's super toxic and seemingly doesn't care about your feelings, it's probably because they think that no one cares about theirs. And maybe you have a little dance with them where they're like, oh, you're the only person that ever cared about me and stuff like that, which is lovely in a way, but it's also, why is that a thing? Why does that person not have like good, co-regulation with other people? They haven't successfully done that. Maybe it's because they hurt everyone's feelings too much because they were so self-involved. And this thing I said, emotions are obviously only my problem. Like no one helps me when I have emotions. So you can all get fucked as well. That's seems to be how it shows up. So I'm sorry if you are in a relationship and it's hurting at the moment because you are with someone who's got that kind of view. But yeah, it's probably not going to change. Yeah, and for the rest of us who are reasonably sane, I don't think it's a big effort to just be nice and polite to people, make that little bit of effort. Someone who's not worth any status to you, There was some woman I was talking to at a bar back when I drank and that, and I got there early and she was there and I just wanted to have a chat to her, and like she was crapping on about lawn bowls and swing dancing. She's a little bit older, and I wasn't really that entertained by the conversation, but like I never would have talked to somebody about swing dancing or lawn bowls. Like I never would have talked to anyone about those things. So like I learned a couple of things from giving that person the time of day, being polite to them, being nice to them, and we had a nice little exchange. And then her friends arrived and my friends arrived, and that was that. But it doesn't hurt to be nice to people. What's the big deal? Bye.